Right. Now here, as somebody has asked me the question of custom object, I'll just try to create one custom object first. Already we have a student here. So let me go back. So already we have student name. Okay. I created a couple of fields. Then let me go to the page layout and add it. Why the fields are not visible? Because the fields created through schema builder will not be visible on layout. I'll go to the page layout and add it up. Right. I had a couple of records now. Now we'll try to discuss everything with respect to student object. Last people, am I audible? Right. So I have standard controller student. Then we had record. You can give anything. I was taking my name as item. It is a variable name. Anything of your choice you can take it. Then I have apex data type. Value equal to var equal to. Till now everything is good, right? Data. Now next we had apex column value equal to a dot name, value equal to a dot name is a standard field on every object. Any custom object I create, it will have one standard field called name. That's what I referred there. Now remaining fields are custom fields. A dot name, amount, a dot active, value equal to a dot. I gave a couple of fields. This is what we got. Have a preview. When you had a preview, this is the data what we are getting. When you are getting this data, if you observe, are you getting any header for the columns? No header. So data table will display the data column wise. No CSS is applied. No standard Salesforce look and feel is applied. So I want to take my own look and feel. So what I am doing? Header values. I am going with header values. So I am going with this data table, same story. But only the point is column header value equal to name. Now, if you want to print any column header, this is how we got name, amount, active, name, amount, active, phone. Only the difference is we got header values. Now the table is compressed. I want to expand it. Table is compressed. I want to expand it. Width of the block. Right. Mute your mics. Now, the same program I am taking here, data table. Width I gave, let us say 800. Go back here. So what happened? Table width is increased. Now when the table width is increased, every column is getting equal space. Every column is getting equal space. Right. No, I don't want to give equal space for every column. First column should be, I want to take the data like this. First column, I'll put the active in the beginning. First column 100, second column 200, rest of the column, okay, 350, 350. I want to give my own spaces. Then I will go with setting the column widths. Setting the column width. Then I was giving here, I'll put the active at the beginning. Active. Then we had name, amount, phone. I was giving here column widths. Column widths. I'm giving 50, 250, 250, 300, 250, 200. I specified the 800 I am dividing as first column 50, second column 300, third column 250, fourth column 200. Look at this, right? These two are coming nearby. There's a huge gap here. Yes. Now I'll try to even reduce this. No, 300. The space is decreased here, right? Column wise we are assigning the spaces. Column width 50, 300, 150. Then we had the remaining. Are you getting my structure here? Now overall table width column wise. If you don't mention column wise, equal size will come. If you don't mention the column wise, equal space will come. I don't want to give the equal space. I want to give the space depends upon the type of data we are putting in the column. Depends upon the type of data we are putting in the column. I want to give column width. Then I'm giving columns width. Everyone is good? First, data table, header values, width of the table, column wise width. The next one we have border. Then I have rules. rows. Rules, rows. Now I am giving this here I am giving rules, rows I give. Now this is how we are getting the row wise. Now border is not coming, right? Top, left, right, border is not coming, right? Only row wise we are getting. The same story, rules, column wise. Now we are getting both. We can apply. Now here, even here also border is not coming. Now you want to apply both of them. Right, rows and columns. But still the border is not maintained by the rules. If you want to give the border, then I have to give separately. Then I am giving next one, border. Now I am giving here rules. Border box. When I say border, this is how we got here. Right, boss? But the data is very compressed. Data is very compressed. When the data is compressed, I want to give proper space. Data is compressed, I want to give proper space. Then I will take cell, column and text. Now here I am giving border, box, then we have cell pad. Now here what was that? Rows I have taken. This is what we got the data. Border row wise, and you can also see the width of this. Active 50, name 300, 150 remaining. Right, boss? Next we have space. Now you want to apply some CSS on this. What was the CSS? On the header I want to apply the CSS. This is a header. I want to darken it. So I want to apply CSS. I want to apply CSS. Now how do you apply the CSS? First I am giving. Now dot means class 1. People had a problem with even and odd. So I am giving 1. Background. Now I want to give the structure. Now here I have header class. Header class equal to header class equal to 1. This is the body. Right. Now you want to apply style for every row. For row you want to apply style, row class. For column you want to apply style, column class. So you can define the style for row and column separately. Now I want to give the style alternate. I want to give the style alternatively. So there are only 3 records. Let me put one more record. Okay. Now let me go back. I want to apply the style separately. Then let us take the example. Then I am going to next one. Row styles. I give 2. Go to background color. We give. Then I told row classes. For the first row, apply CSS of 2. For the second row, apply the CSS of 3. Alternatively. Apply the CSS alternatively. This is what we got. Is that was clear for everyone? People have followed? Right. On the top of it, we can specify. On the top of it, we can specify. On the top of it, we can specify how many rows you want to display. Number of rows from which position. Number of rows from which position. From 3rd position, 10th position, 5 records that we can give. Rows first, that also we can control. What is the advantage of going for this data table? We have a choice to design it in the way we want. When you go to page block table, it is a standard CSS of the Salesforce is applied. You don't have a choice to build the way you want. But here we have a choice to build the way we want. Are you getting my point here? Okay. Now, let me add one more extension to this. Somebody has asked me, can't we add a buttons to this? Then I'll go with now look at this. I want to create a button. The way we have done the previous example. Column, header value, action, command button, action. How do you click on action? URL for dollar a dot, okay, dollar action dot, what is the object we have taken? Student. Then we have edit. What is the record? A dot. I want a space. NBSP. What is the purpose of this? The space between two lines.
Include form.
Command button, yeah. Command button, value equal to URL for dollar action dot this is how we give. Now what is the issue here? We gave a buttons here, so I was supposed to give so here we are edit because I give the size is more. If I want to make it proper, I'll make it as so we had given this. The space is not sufficient. So give right. I hope you are good with this format. Clear about this format, boss? Each and every property is clear, right? Data table, value, var, width, column width. Then we have rules. Then we have border. Then we have cell padding, cell spacing also you can give to get the space between the columns. Then we add row classes. Row classes. I hope everyone is good. Then here we can also specify first rows. Rows will indicate number of rows, right? Rows will indicate number of rows. Rows will indicate number of rows. I hope you are good with this. Can we do this example? Can we do this example? Right? Okay. Now, my requirement is, okay, why to build some other requirement? Build the same requirement. Whatever the last example was there, build the same example from your end. Whatever the last structure I have created, build the same structure from your end. It is referring to the data from the student. We had an object called student. In the student object, we had name, which is a standard field, amount. Then we had active, phone number. Name is a standard field. We have a student object. Name is a standard field. Amount is a custom. Phone is a custom. Active is a custom. Name, phone, amount, active. These are the 4 custom fields of student object. There is a custom student object. There is a custom student object in which we have a name, amount, phone, action.
Satish, I have a question.
Go ahead.
It is not related to this topic.
No issue. Go ahead.
From admin. If I have to see the fields of a table, how can I go from setup and object,
Go to
etc.? Can you
setup,
get me?
build,
Sorry.
create.
Setup, build, create. Can you please
Create object. Setup, build, create object. Okay. Name of the object. If it is a custom object. Okay. If it is a custom object, setup, build, create, object, choose the object what you want. You will see the list of field. If it is a standard object, then setup, build, customize, choose the object.
Okay.
Custom object, setup, build, customize. Standard object, setup, build, customize. Custom object, setup, build, create, objects, name of the object. Got my point?
I've got a little bit. Is it possible? Can we navigate through on the setup?
People are watching the screen actually.
Thank you.
No issue. Setup, build, customize, choose the object which you want. For standard objects, if it is a custom object, setup, build, create, objects, go to the object. Right? Go ahead.
Hi, Satish.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, thanks.
Go ahead.
So while applying styles to the row classes attribute, is it restricted to even and all that we can go ahead like 1, 2, 3?
I didn't get you, boss. Could you please repeat? Pardon me. Please repeat.
So while applying styles to row classes attribute, okay.
Okay.
So we have taken only for the odd and even. So is it possible like 1, 2, 3 pattern? 1, 2, 3 again 1, 2, 3 again 1, 2, 3 like that?
No. With the built-in functionality, not possible.
Okay.
Now, what is the structure you are doing? Everyone start with what is the object you are taking? Student. Start the page, apex page, standard control equal to student. Apex page, standard control equal to student. Then, what you are supposed to do? Record set var equal to items. Record set var equal to items. So, create, right? Write the code. No book?
Satish? Hello?
Right. JNT student. Right. Now, what is the first line that you have done? Apex. What is the first thing that you have done? Apex page standard controller equal to record set var equal to some item schedule. Right. Then go with the next one. What is the next point? Create data table. Create data table, everyone. Create data table. Online, someone is asking a question. Go ahead. What is your query?
Yeah, Satish. What is the difference between header value and header column and facet?
See,
When we need
if
to
you
use
want
facet
to
and,
print it text, header value will be used. Right. Anything other than text you want to use, then you will go for facet. Got it?
okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Then create a data table. How do you create a data table? Apex data table. Value equal to what you are supposed to give. Value equal to. Then you are supposed to give var equal to some variable. Then define the width. Define the width. Define the width. Wait for a minute. Define a width. Everyone, what are the properties we are supposed to apply? Width. Apply the width first. So give some width. Width. Some 800 I given. Then define the column wise width. Now I want to give the column wise width like 50, 300, 200. Define the column wise width. Define column wise width 50, 300, 200, 100, 100. columns right. Now I want row wise borders. If I want row wise borders, if I want to take a row wise border, you are supposed to take rules equal to rows. Then I want to take a border box I want, then you are supposed to give border, then for header I want to give a style called 1 header class. For rows I want to give style 2 and 3 row classes. Right. Then I want a spacing between the elements. When I want a spacing, right. Now define the columns. These are the properties. Then define the columns and print the value of, in the first column I want to print active, second column I want to print name, third column phone, fourth column amount, fifth column buttons. Now everyone is good with this data table now. Then create the columns, make an attempt at least 30-40% if you can write. Ramani can follow by looking at the program. Right. At least if you can understand 30 to 40% of the structure, Ramani can understand by looking at the program. Make an attempt of writing it. Don't be overconfident. Make an attempt. Put everything on the paper. Then create the columns, everyone. These are the columns: active, name, amount, phone, action. Create the columns. Yeah. Meanwhile, someone is asking a question. Go ahead. Online, go ahead with your question. Online, some girl was asking a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, Satish, actually, when you showed that the example in Lightning, so if you want to recreate these examples, we have to go with Lightning, right?
When you want to show the same in the Lightning, you have to rebuild it in the Lightning format. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Now, how you are building it? You want to print a column. Value equal to a dot name, header value. Sorry, we are going to give active. Last year, can you open the doors, boss? Can you open the door? Can you open those doors? So we have header value, active. Next one, apex column, value equal to a dot name, value equal to. Then we have phone. Here also I made a mistake. What was that? Underscore C. So we have header value. Then I have given column value a dot amount. Then I ask you to create Then I ask you to create apex column header value. So here we had what you are supposed to do. Create a button, command button, value equal to edit. Now write the action. You people write the action. Action. Now write the action, everyone.
Before that, sir,
Yeah.
mention a apex form now, sir. While
Yeah, you are
applying
supposed
that
to. You are supposed to. So what we are doing, URL for $a dot, okay, a dollar action dot student dot a dot ID. Then I want to give a space NBSP pipeline NBSP. Then I create the delete button. Create the delete button, everyone. URL for action dot apex. Then close the data table. Close the form. Close the page. Now, is that was clear for everyone? Everyone has followed this? Am I clear with this? Everyone is good with this example, right?
Yes.
Right, Amma? So
one
okay,
page,
you can go through the code and refer this, right? The same example you have already done here. The same thing I have already written. The code which is already written, you have done one more time. Data table, value, var, width, row classes, header class, column width, rules, border, cell padding. Then we had column value, a dot active, header, a dot name, a dot amount, a dot forward. Then we have taken apex column. Right, one by one property we have done separately. You can go through the structure and see output. Every attribute you have taken separately and done the example. Right, you can refer to the above codes for your reference. I hope you are good.
So here,
Right.
so
Any query from your end?
Yes,
What I
Satish,
want
to
to-
run this,
Command
obviously
button
we have to
value
have that student object in the our database.
Exactly. You are supposed to create the object and fields, then only it will run. If you want to run the program, first the student object should be there, and the corresponding field should be there. Then only you can run it. That is the reason why I was preferring to take standard objects, so that no other extra functionality is required for you. Right, Amma? Everyone is good with this example? Clear for
one
everyone?
query, sir.
What is your query,
Yes,
boss?
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, command button value equal to edit you have mentioned now, sir.
Yes.
Could you please explain this action URL for action? and
Now, how do you
action?
define the action? First thing, you need to not.
I-
You need to wait until I stop speaking. Right. Right. That's the first thing, boss. The next, let me answer your question. Now, the first point here. Look at the point. URL for. How do you define URL for dollar
URL for
action
dollar.
name of the object? Now, if it is a contact, contact. If it is a account, account. Now we are taking a student. Then on this object, what is the action you want to perform? You want to edit? Edit. You want to perform delete? Delete. Now, when I say edit, delete, when I say edit or delete, okay, on which record? Edit on which record? Delete on which record? Because this is a table. Group of records are there. Out of this group of records, on which record you are clicking edit? On which record you are clicking delete? We are supposed to mention ID of the record. Otherwise, I will not be able to recognize your record. Unless I mention ID of the record, I will not be able to understand which record you are trying to edit, which record you are trying to delete. That is the reason we are giving ID of the record. Now, what is A? The row on which I am clicking. When you have a list of records, A is referring to record by record. Whichever the record I am clicking, that record is A dot ID. Right. This is what we are giving. This is the expression. Delete A dot ID. What I should do? I have to put this within the expression. I have to put this within the expression. I hope you are good with this. Right? Is that was clear, ma? Somebody from online? Am I clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Any other queries? Any other queries from this? Again, what is the limitation of this? What is the limitation of this? Limitation is 1000 records. Everyone quiet. I told you already, there is no mic. Right. Everyone be quiet, boss. Right. Now let us see. What is the limitation on number of records? 1000. If I want to display 10,000, read only equal to true. But the drawback of read only equal to true is it is readable format. No, I don't want a readable format. I want a writable format. Then that will not work out for you. Then I need to take multiple data tables. Now when you take a page block table, with multiple page block table, every time we are getting header, right? Every time we are getting header. But when you go to data table, headers will not come. We can have that advantage. Are you getting my point? By default, are the headers are coming? No. If you want, you can give. When you say multiple data table, 1000, next 1000, next 1000, next 1000. First data table, we mention header value. Second, third, fourth, we don't mention header value. Then what happened? All the list of records will be displayed. What is the other alternative? Pagination. What is the other alternative? Pagination. Okay. When you go for a pagination, how can you implement pagination? We are supposed to use a concept called extension, which we are going to learn is the concept of extension. That is not covered with respect to the topic what we have done now. With respect to the current topics what we have done, pagination cannot be achieved. So we are supposed to learn with the help of extension concept. Okay. I hope you are good with this. Right. Online, someone is asking a question. Go ahead. What is your query?
Hi Satish, can you explain header class equal to 1 and row classes equal to 2, 3 you gave, no?
Now, look at the point. Again, I'm making the point clear. Style. Now, style. When I have a group of properties, what we do? We put in scope. Am I right? In the programming, what is the purpose of a scope? When you have a group of statements, we write in a scope. For the scope, we give a name, right? So I give a name called 1. What is the name of the scope? 1. Name of the scope is 1. Now in the programming, if you want to create a class, what we do? Class 1. In the CSS, we give dot 1. Got my point? Is that was clear? Now in the scope, I can give multiple properties. Background, color, left margin, margin left. Like this, some properties I am going to give. Right. This is what? This group of properties have a name called 1. Now, if you want to apply this property on any element on the data table, what we have? Header. Header class means for the header, apply these properties. For the header row, apply this property. When I say 1, for the header row, now what was this? This is the header row, right? This is the header. These are the data. This is the header. This is the data. Now, if I don't give, this is how we are getting. I want to highlight the header. So, I want to give different color for the heading. This is the header. Then I told header value equal to 1. Header value equal to 1. Now, for every row, I want the same color. For every row, I want the same color. What I can do? For every row, I want to give the color. Row classes. You want to give only one color? Give two. When you give two, for every row, the same style will come. No, for alternate rows, I want to give different color. No, I want to give 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Are you getting? If I give row class is equal to 2, the same style is applied for every row. If I give row class equal to 2 and 3, first row 2, second row 3. Are you getting my point? Is that was clear? Is that was clear? You want the same color to be given for every row? Give only one. Give only one.
And sorry to interrupt you, Satish. Where you're defining this 1, 2, 3,
I defined
the
here.
program. Where? Sorry, where is that? All right, okay.
Right. I hope you're good. Right?
Thank you.
Everyone is good with this example? Right? Any other queries on this? Any other queries on this? Right. Okay. Any other queries? Now, let us see standard pages what we have. Now look at this. Can I build this page? Can I build this page? How can I build it? Now, page block with the data, page block table. Now this is what? Page block section, column 1, within the column 1, page block table, page block, column 2, page block. Now row is divided into 2 columns, one column, one page block, another column, another page block. Within the page block, create these pick list fields. Right. Now what is it? Page block section 1. In the first page block section, complete row, one page block. Page block section, second page block section, divided into 2 columns. In the first column, one page block. Second column, another page block. Again, page block. Can you build this? Yes. Okay. With respect to the topics what we have done, we can 100% build this example. Try to achieve this. Next one, click on go. Can I achieve this example? Except these colors. Except this color. Now tell me, what is the use of facet? Here, we are not giving a title. We are giving a button. Now, page block, title, account. If you give a text, we can print. But I am not giving a text. I want to give a button. How can you create it? Facet. Other than text, you want to print anything on header, footer, we are going to use facet. Now in this context, it should be what? Facet. In this concept, it should be what? Facet. Now what was this? Here, it is not the buttons. Page block buttons, command link A, command link value equal to A, space, / pipeline, space, command link value equal to B, space. Are you getting my point? This is what? How can you build it? Command link value equal to A. Now action will decide later. Close the command link, space, pipeline, space, okay, only pipeline, space, command link value equal to B, like that we are giving. Then what is this? Page block table. Right. This is header. Except the image, rest all the story can be implemented. The footer you are finding here, right? This is actually a facet. This is a pagination concept. Pagination concept. We'll be looking at this later. But till here, can you build it? Can you build a page? Try it out. When you try to implement this type of examples, then you understand the limitations of what we learned. Right? I hope everyone is good with this example. Right? Try out this example. Now, tomorrow's concept is going to be this. Now, what was this? It is not table. It is only what? List. It is not a table. It is only a list. How to display group of records in the form of list. There is a table. When you say table, we have rows, we have columns. Only for the quick understanding, I'll give example of data list and data repeat. But see practical usage in the next session. Repeat is very strong tool. Record set where same story. Data. Okay, let me take data list value equal to items var equal to data list. Everyone was understand, make it quiet, make was. Why you people pay the fee and discuss in the class? Right. Now look at the point. We have data table, right? Value equal to items, var equal to a. Now look at the preview. What happened? List of records are displayed. That you can indicate square box or circle or whatever it is. It is just what? List of records. Now you are supposed to organize it. Then I have next. Repeat. Same story. Only the point is, instead of data table, we give data list. Why there is no column? It is not a table. If it is a table, we have columns, but data list and repeat is not a table. How we are getting? There is no style. Sequentially, it is going to print. When there is no style, you have a choice to break them as you write. When there is no style, you have a choice to break them as you wish. Now, repeat is the very strongest tool because it doesn't have any style. We can organize the data in whatever the way we want. So, what are the 4 topics we had? Page block table, data list, repeat. Now, because page block table gives standard look and feel, don't practice everything with page block table. You are supposed to practice everything with a data table or repeat. Then you understand applying the CSS on it. If you go with the page block table, because the property is standard, look and feel is good, we never apply any CSS. So don't practice elements with page block table, practice with data table. Practice with data table. Whenever I go for list of record, always use data table or repeat. I hope you are good with this. Right? Am I clear? Am I clear? Okay. Out of the topics, whatever the frequently asked questions here. The frequently asked question. What is MVC? VF falls under difference between lightning. Then what is a standard controller? What is a standard set controller? What is a controller? Now, what is a standard set controller? Look at the point. From the object, when I give record set var, we are getting a list of records, right? Record set var, set of records from that particular object based on the filter. That's what is called standard list controller. What is a standard list controller? From the object what you mentioned, we are getting a list of records. That's what we call as standard list controller. Standard controller with a record set var is a combination of standard list controller. From the standard controller, based on the filter, we are getting a list of records, which is referred as standard list controller. What is a controller? What is an extension? Combination of standard controller and controller is called extension. difference between input text what are list view, what is filter ID, in how many ways we can display list of what are the difference between page block table, data table, data list, how many records can be displayed using page block, how to display page block table, how to display 50K records, how to display 50,000 records using page block table. These are the questions with respect to the topics that we have covered in the VisualForce. With respect to the topics that we have covered in the VisualForce page, these are the ways. Now, this is some additional topic. In how many ways we can create VF pages. Now we are looking at the standard format, right? What is that? Standard navigation, developer console, then comma, okay, URL. Now previously we had Eclipse. Now the reason for telling this point is we had a Salesforce DX in which we are using Visual Studio. We are using an editor called Visual Studio Code. I'll be covering this Salesforce DX. It's a people are learning as right. You are busy in discussing, Amma. Very busy in discussing from beginning. Right now, generally previously what we used to do, we used to use a version controlling system. Like we used to use a DevOps, maybe a Jenkins, maybe Jenkins or Git or GitHub. We used to use it, but now we have a built-in version controlling system which is called Salesforce DX. Using this, we can have a built-in continuous version controlling. Then we'll be covering this at the end. I'm planning to cover the Salesforce DX also, maybe with Scratch or Dev have. This is the last way. At the end of the story, this is the updation what we are finding. On the development area, the updation what you are finding is the Salesforce DX with the Visual Studio Code. There is a new way of creating the things. There is a new way of creating the things. There is an editor.